Okay, today we're going to talk about functions. This is probably the most important concept you will learn in the entire course. So you should pay attention and make sure that you understand everything that's happening. Okay, a function is a process that takes an input and produces exactly one output. Now x here represents the input to the function. F is the function or process itself. Okay, so if we look at an example here, maybe that will become clearer. Here we have f of x equals 2x plus 4. X here is the variable. This is the input. And f of x tells you the rule that gives you an output depending on the input. Alright, so the main thing that a function can do is you can plug in a number for x to evaluate the function at that point. Okay, so here we have f at 5 is equal to 2 times 5 plus 4 equals 14. So here 5 was our input, 14 was our output, and the way we got from 5 to 14 was by using this rule, that when we plug in a number for f, what we do to it, what f does to it, is it multiplies it by 2 and then adds 4. Okay. Now, let's go back over here for a second. This notation, f of x, or f at x, that's how you should read this. This notation does not mean the letter f times the letter x. That is not what it means. This is not multiplication. So I realize that when you multiply things, you often put one letter next to another, and you maybe have parentheses around them, but that is not what this notation means. What this notation means is that f is a function, and to figure out what f does to x, we look at an equation like this. Okay. So now, one more example. Suppose we have g of x down here. Now g of x is equal to x squared plus 4 over 2x. G of 2, or g at 2, means you take the number 2, and everywhere you see x in your original expression, you replace it with 2. So we are evaluating g at the point 2. That's what this notation means. Again, you are not multiplying g and 2. That is not what's happening here. You are taking 2. G is a function, it's a process. And when you give g the number 2, it is supposed to give you something back. Right? That's what this says up here. It takes an input and produces an output. So what we're saying down here is we're saying, alright, we're going to take the number 2 and we're going to feed it into the function g, and we're going to see what g gives us back. And what g gives us back is exactly given by this formula. We just take 2 and plug it into the formula, and we see that we get 2 squared plus 4 over 2 times 2, which ends up being, at the end, the number 2. So that means when we put the number 2 into the function g, what it gives us back, the output it gives us, is 2.